Hello Roblox Max Mode community. I am Lucky and in this video I am going to be placing 25 Roblox Max Modes that I have completed based on the enjoyability of the Max Mode. I hope you enjoy. On this wheel is every mode on the unlimited ranking list of the Roblox Modes list that I have completed. I will be spinning it to determine which modes I place on the tier list first. It looks like our first mode will be Star 3 from Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's is a fan game based on Sister Location's custom night. Most of the characters' mechanics are the same or very similar to it. However, the power and characters are more forgiving in this game than Sister Location's custom night. Due to this, the mode does not have much difficulty once you know what you are doing. Overall I found this mode to be enjoyable and it's honestly one of the better modes on the list in my opinion. I would definitely recommend it. I am going to place Star 3 in A tier. Now it's time to spin for the next mode. Next up is Bloodstained Windows from Residence Massacre. Bloodstained Windows is an extra challenge that Residence Massacre recognizes in the form of a Roblox badge. In Blood Moon mode, you must survive the whole night and never let a window break. There are several strategies for this mode, but I chose to use the ladder strat as it is supposedly the easiest. In my opinion, this mode absolutely sucks. I hated grinding this mode and it took me way longer than it should have. The ladder is very finicky and leads to stupid deaths. This mode is not good at all in my opinion and I do not recommend it in the slightest. Bloodstained Windows will go to D tier. Time for the next wheel spin. Next up will be 320 mode from Five Nights at Newton 2's. There is not really a lot to say about this mode. Nothing happens for the entire first 2 hours which makes a third of the night very boring to have to sit through. When things do start happening, all you have to do is conserve some power by opening a door when you are able to. That's basically it. Nothing too stimulating about this mode. It's not super bad or anything, it is just lacking in gameplay. 320 mode will go to C tier. Wheel spin time. Next up we have Dementia from Kittyland. The first Kittyland mode. Dementia is not really overly difficult compared to most other Kittyland modes and since this isn't true Dementia you can get the helpful items before the round starts which makes this mode not really that bad. Kittyland does suffer from a little RNG, but it's not very pronounced in this mode. Overall this mode isn't too bad so if you're looking to start playing Kittyland modes, I'd recommend this as one of your firsts. Dementia will go to B tier. Time to spin the wheel. Looks like it's time for Lucent Plush from Some Nights at the Arcade. At the time of this video, Lucent Plush is currently at the very bottom of both ranking lists. Basically this mode is based on Fun with Plush Trap from FNaF 4, except you can see Lucent move here. All you have to do is flash him each time he moves and once you flash him on the X, you win. Lucent Plush suffers from the exact issue that Five Nights at Newton 2's does, so Lucent Plush will go beside it in C tier. Time to spin. Looks like next up is Night 7 from Five Nights at Freddy's 1 Remastered. Night 7 is basically a green run mode with a hint of awareness needed. It is a good, well-balanced mode with little to no RNG factor. This is one of the better modes on the list to be sure. I would definitely recommend. Night 7 will go to A tier. Next spin. Looks like we'll be doing 2020 from Freddy's next. 2020 is a green run mode. The mode is fast paced for a game based on FNaF 1. Power is pretty tight in this mode, so you will very likely need to rely on a good power route in order to win unless you are a very good green runner. I am going to put 20-20-20-20 in B tier since you have to rely on a little RNG to beat it. Time to spin once more. Next up is 1020 from Five Nights at Your Friends. 1020 is a mode based on FNaF 2. As you'd expect, it does have RNG as well, albeit significantly less than FNaF 2. It isn't awful, but it isn't necessarily great either due to the RNG factor. 1020 will go to the lower end of B tier. Next spin. Next up is Lights Out from Kittyland. Lights Out mode means that you can no longer use the bed to make time go by faster, and it also means that William is more active. While this might sound really bad, since it isn't true lights out, you can still get a light source and a bowl before the round starts, and it actually isn't too bad. I feel about the same way about this as I do Dementia mode. I will put it in B tier right below Dementia since Lights Out is more boring than Dementia. Time to spin. Time for Nightmare from Terrorbyte. Nightmare is a decent mode in my opinion. The minigames are fun and the art style is pretty cool. The main downside to the mode is it can be RNG, although I never personally experienced that while I've played it. I'm going to put Nightmare at the top of B tier. If it weren't for the RNG factor that is there, I would go ahead and put it in A tier. Next spin. It's time for Chica Party mode from Five Nights at Freddy's Plus. There's not really a lot to say about this mode. It's very easy and you almost need to intentionally fail to die. It's not a bad mode, it's just really easy. Chica Party mode will go to the top of C tier. Next spin. Next up we have 6 from Security Shift 3. 6 is the boss night of Security Shift 3. This night is not terribly hard once you understand how it works. It just requires listening and paying attention. 6 will go to the top of B tier. Next spin. Next we have Toy Bonnie Party mode from Five Nights at Freddy's Plus. Toy Bonnie Party mode is unfortunately a little RNG. You have to listen for the guitar sounds and view the colors changing, but with air horns playing and images randomly popping up on the screen, it can lead to not being able to see or hear the order the guitar is being played, which will force you to have to guess. Toy Bonnie Party mode will go to the bottom of B tier. Next spin. Time for Security Shift at Springlocks 2020-2020. 2020-2020 is a very easy mode due to the fact that there is a strat that eliminates 2 of the 4 threats entirely. The remaining 2 threats are easy to deal with, making this mode very simple. I will place it at the top of C tier. Next spin. Night Strike Laser Foxy time. Night Strike Laser Foxy is basically just running around in a set path all night. You can get killed by RNG at any time, which can be quite annoying. I did somewhat enjoy this mode though overall. Night Strike Laser Foxy will go to the lower end of B tier. Next spin. Next up is Hard mode from Five Nights at Marcus 1 Classic. I beat this mode using the easier, but more RNG strat, so I will be ranking it based on my experience with that. The mode is completely easy skill wise, it's just hoping that one doesn't get to you before the shock resets. The RNG with this strat isn't awful, but it is there and will likely take you a few attempts not to die to it. Hard mode will go towards the lower end of B tier. Next spin. Next up we have Nightmare from Strict Karen. Nightmare is not a very good mode in my opinion. I found it annoying and I had some very obnoxious deaths due to RNG. I would not really recommend this mode. Nightmare will go to the top of D tier. Next spin. Next we have Nightmare mode good ending from Freddy's Pizzeria Experience. In my opinion, this mode is long and boring. It's not difficult at all, but it just feels like it takes forever to end. I didn't find this mode very enjoyable just because of how boring the gameplay was. Nightmare mode good ending will go to the bottom of C tier. Next spin. Time for Insane mode from Night Before the Blizzard. Insane mode is a decent mode in my opinion. There might be slight RNG, but it is pretty minimal. It's pretty much just an awareness test. Insane mode will go towards the upper end of B tier. Next spin. Next up is Speedy Dad from Weird Strict Dad. Speedy Dad isn't that difficult of mode. There's not really all that much to say about it. It's just knowing good timing for when you need to leave the bedroom. Speedy Dad will go towards the upper end of B tier. Next spin. Next up is 420 from Five Nights at Your Friends. 420 is basically just closing the right door then flipping your cams up and back down while checking the left door light and closing it when needed for the rest of the night. Power is somewhat tight, but there is a fair length power out sequence that helps. Overall I think it's a decent mode. 420 will go towards the upper end of B tier as well. Next spin. Next up is Blacklight Mangle from Animatronics Help Wanted. Blacklight Mangle is basically the exact same as the original Help Wanted. Other than that there is really nothing more to say about this mode. Blacklight Mangle will go in mid B tier. Next spin. Next up is FNaF 2 Notch 6 from 5 Notches Con Alfredo. In FNaF 2 Notch 6 you basically just run in a big circle around the building, only varying from the path to collect a music box or avoid Mutilla in the vent. It's a pretty good mode in my opinion. I'll put it in high B tier. Next spin. Next we have 2020 from FNaF, Five Nights at Roblox. FNaF, Five Nights at Roblox is a pretty basic FNaF 1 styled game. There's not really more to say about it, it's not very tight with power and is overall just an easy mode. 2020 will go near mid B tier. It is time for the final wheel spin. Time for Blacklight Freddy from Animatronics, Help Wanted. Just like Blacklight Mangle from earlier, Blacklight Freddy here is just like it is in the original Help Wanted. There's really not much more to it. Since Blacklight Freddy is the same situation as Blacklight Mangle, it will go next to it in B tier. Here we have the final tier list. Thank you if you've stuck around this far and watched the whole video. This video took me around 7 hours to edit and I did it in one session. Fun fact. This is the first actual edited video I've made, so let me know how I did in the comments. If you have any suggestions for improving my editing skills, then please do let me know. If y'all would like a second part to this video where I place another 25 modes on this tier list, please give the video a like. If this video gets 25 likes, I will make the second part. See you next time.